What's good, YouTube? Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing, back with a gem. I want to take a second to give a special shout out to all the Crown Jewels gems out there. By Crown Jewels gems, I mean those who are subscribers and came back to watch videos again, or are repeat watchers. I appreciate y'all. Y'all keep us going. I appreciate your support. All you here for the first time, please like, comment, and subscribe if you like the information that we're putting out to you. On this episode, we're going to have Devin Haney is confirmed cat. We're going to speak about J. Rock Williams out of Philadelphia. Jersey City stand up. Khalil Cole got next. Edgar Berlanga wins, but is it enough to be mentioned amongst the elite in super middleweight division? Adam Kawanaki, it may be time for a curtain call. Canelo versus Charlo is said to be in play for September. And Deontay has set a contract to Andy Ruiz. All of that and more after this.
Let's see, each score 40-36. While Judge Barbara Perez has it 39-37. All for the winner by unanimous decision, Crown Jewel.
You know it's AB, always ballin', always boarding, a lot of bills. You know what's going on, man. You know, shout out to Crown Jewels Boxing, man. You know, my people. You know, they get it in over there, straight up.
Lamar Peterson giving a shout out to CrownJewelBoxing.com.
All right, let's jump right into it. Devin Haney has been saying Gervonta Tank Davis's name more than his own in the last few years. And what I can say is everybody's saying, well, Devin's calling out everybody. He wants everybody. And nobody wants to fight him. I call cap. Those of us that know how boxing works knows that when he first started saying Tank's name, Tank was signed to Mayweather Promotions and had not yet took the leadership role in his career as to taking his destiny in his own hands and picking his opponents. That was being handled by Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellaby. After that, he had a contractual obligation to Hector Garcia and Ryan Garcia. During that same time, Devin Haney was contractually obligated to fight George Kambosos. There was a rematch clause, and we all knew that Vasily Lomachenko was contractually obligated to fight the winner. So we knew there was no way they could fight each other. During that time, he could not stop saying Tank Davis's name. Not only that, his father kept talking about Tank Davis. He talked about his trainers. He talked about how much money they didn't have. All kind of conversation about Tank Davis, and it was all clout chasing. Why? Because Devin fulfilled his contractual obligation to Top Rank and is a free agent. Tank fulfilled his contractual obligations, beat both the Garcias, and is a free agent. And at this time, you haven't heard Devin Haney nor Bill Haney mention the letter T, let alone Tank Davis, since. Then, that was confirmed when Eddie Hearn was asked the question by YSM Sports Media, and he confirmed that Devin Haney called him and told him he made it official that the opponent he wants next is Regis Prograis. After all you said about Tank, I don't give a damn about you draining yourself to make weight, any of the other excuses that could be made for you. As much as you disrespected that man, I didn't want to hear you call for anybody but him, and you did not. So again, you and your father are cap. You're clout chasers. On to the next. J. Rock Williams. Congratulations on a beautiful career. You were an overachiever. You fight your ass off. Got a heart as big as all outdoors. But I think it's time to hang it up. All of his losses have been by brutal knockout. He took quite a bit of punishment in the last two. And yeah, the other night was no different. There was a bit of controversy in the stoppage just because he was coming forward and throwing a jab at the time the referee stepped in. But I think your eyes can lie to you sometimes, because although he was coming forward and throwing a jab at that time, he had just spun off the ropes and threw a jab. And I thought the fight should have been stopped maybe 30 seconds earlier, as it was evident that he no longer had any steam on his punches to keep his opponent off of him, and he was being clocked with flush shots over and over, was on unsteady legs, and I don't think it was going to improve. I think that he had given all he could give that night. And again, I'm not against the stoppage. I think it should have happened maybe 30 seconds earlier. And like I said, J-Rock, congratulations on a great career, overachiever, world champion. I think a unified world champion. But I think it's time to move on and do something else, champ. I don't want to see you leave the sport in a way that you didn't come in. I like to see you leave with all your faculties. Jersey, stand up. My man Big Stepper, who I had the privilege of being in camp with him and his father Paul Bird, while I was assisting Anthony Young for his last camp, and got to see how these guys operate real class acts that are going to represent Jersey the right way. I think Khalil's on his way to becoming the next great light heavyweight out of New Jersey. Am I qualified to speak on it? I think so. Being as though I spent time in the gym, quite a bit of time, with Matthew Saab Muhammad, Dwight Muhammad Kawi, and Virgil Hill, who are all former light heavyweight champions in the world and are all current Hall of Famers. That's right, I got to see these guys in action in the gym on a daily basis, and Khalil Cole shows me all the ingredients it takes to be a great light heavyweight, and I think he's on his way. Namely, with that jab. His jab is reminiscent to maybe a Bruce Seldon or a Virgil Hill. I mean, this guy has a jab that's out of this world, has knockout power in both hands. And again, here in Jersey, we're excited to see him continue to climb. 6-0 now. Big Stepper, congratulations. We look forward to what you got next. Edgar Berlanga. I want to say not yet ready for prime time. He's calling for Jaime Munguia. Munguia has a lot to prove too, because they've been putting him in with a lot of shot-worn and over-the-hill fighters or smaller fighters over the last few years. He beat Saddam Ali like 6-7 years ago and hasn't had a big name on his resume since, so I think it's time for them to take the training wheels off of him. But I still think at this point he's a bit too much for Edgar Berlanga. Most boxing pundits thought that Berlanga needed to win in highlight reel fashion against Jason Quigley over the weekend to maintain the hype around him. And although he scored 4 knockdowns and controlled the action throughout, he did not show me anything that would solidify him as a bona fide star at the 168-pound division. He did show some improvement. I think he needs to get back in the lab. I think he needs a few more, I guess I could say gatekeeper type fights before he's ready for the upper echelon in the 168-pound division. Again, good win, but is he ready for the top guys? Not quite yet. Adam Kalinaki, again, good career champ. He hinted at retirement prior to this fight, and I think that's a good idea for him as he was in yet another brutal war. He was basically beaten to submission. He took a whole lot of punishment. Again, went out on a shield, huge heart, but it comes a time for all of us where it's time to hang it up, and I think the time has come for Adam Kalinaki. So again, congratulations, champ, and whatever else you decide to do in life. But I think your time as a top-level professional boxer has come and gone. Canelo Alvarez, we all know, signed that 3-fight deal with Al Heyman, and it looks like the first fight we're going to get out of those 3 fights is Jermell Charlo in the fall. Let's pray that's true. That's the word right now. You're going to hear it here first. I got Jamal Charlo. I got him beating Canelo Alvarez. I think it's no secret, I've said on my channel a bunch of times, Canelo does not do well against athletic fighters with quicker feet than him. I think Charlo fits that description. He also has a whole lot of pop behind his punches and quick hands, which I think is going to give Canelo fits. Not to mention he's about 4 or 5 inches taller than Canelo. So I think he's going to shock the world, and he's going to beat Canelo, and that's going to be the end of the Canelo hype train. Don't get me wrong, Canelo's a great fighter, but he's not what they make him out to be. Not one of the top Mexican fighters in history. Not one of the all-time greats, just not. He's a solid fighter, but not what they make him out to be. So again, I look forward to seeing him fight Charlo if the fight is actually going to happen, but I think Charlo is going to give Canelo a loss. Last but not least, the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder, looks to be finally going to be returning to action. He sent a contract, from what I understand, to Andy Ruiz. He's urging Andy Ruiz to sign the contract. That has not yet happened, but I hope it does. That's an intriguing fight. Andy Ruiz, I think, is a live underdog in that fight, but I think I don't see him being able to take Deontay Wilder's power. I got Wilder by knockout in 7 or 8, which will set up a huge showdown between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, in which I think Wilder knocks Joshua out in 1 or 2 rounds, again, because Joshua does not have a reliable chin. Until next time, keep your hands up, your chin down, your ass off the floor. Peace.